a demo on the COP mapping, which was developed by the UN Global Compact Network Germany in cooperation with several other European local networks in Europe. As you can see here, we are on the main page of the mapping, which is shown in Mapping Overview. This is the homepage, the starting point of the mapping, and then you have 4 other parts or pages of the mapping which can be used, which is the ESRS overview, the COP overview, definitions, and the page about this tool. This mapping was developed within Microsoft Power BI, so it's a general dashboard and table overview of the comparison of the COP and the ESRS compared to other relevant reporting standards. If we click to the very first page, which is the ESRS overview, you can see that this is the comparison of the ESRS, so the European standards of the CSRD, which can be seen here. This is the general structure of the ESRS, and the comparison is based on this general structure of the ESRS. As you can see from ESRS general disclosures to G, the business conduct. If you click into one of these standards, for example, climate change, then the comparison table will be shown. As you can see here, the standard that is normally selected is the COP. So if you have this this page as it is shown now here, you can compare the ESRS standards towards the COP questionnaire, as it is shown here, for example, within the several different ESRS standards and the corresponding section in the COP. On the top, you can select the different reporting standards. For example, you could choose CDP here as well, or the GRI, and then the table will show the comparison between the ESRS and the corresponding standard. Another thing what you can do is search within the ESRS. So for example, if you want to search here for, let's say, adaptation, for example, you can just put the term into the search field, and then it will search within the ESRS and within the different references within the ESRS. The same applies for the selected reporting standards. So in case now you have the CDP, you want to search a term, you can just put the term here, and then the table will search within the CDP references and disclosures. And you can do the same for COP or GRI or LKSG. Doesn't matter, the functionality will be the same, does not depend on which reporting standard is selected. Another option or functionality you can use is the filtering option between ESRS mandatory and voluntary references. So if you have the table here, you can select ESRS mandatory, and then only the references that are mandatory will be displayed. Or the same, if you select voluntary, then the same applies for the voluntary standards. And these functionalities will be the same, doesn't matter in which ESRS you will be. You can click here on the left side to the different ESRS and change from, for example, E1 climate change to S1 own workforce, and then just click through the different standards of the ESRS. The second page of the mapping is the COP overview. If you remember, if we go back to the main page, that's the second one, COP overview. If you click here or on the bar here on the left side, on the third point, COP overview, you will find the overview on the COP. So this is the mapping based on the COP questionnaire. And you can see here the different sections of the COP questionnaire as it is governance, human rights, labor, anti-corruption, and environment. So if you click to one of the sections, you will find the comparison between the COP and the different other reporting standards. So the standard that is normally selected are the ESRS. So here, in comparison to the first table, you will have the COP always on the left side, always on this dark blue part of the mapping, and then the correspondence selected reporting standard on the right side, sorry. And here the same functionalities apply. You can also search within the COP or search within the selected reporting standards, and then you have the comparison between the questions of the COP, which are listed here on the left side, and the corresponding references of the ESRS, of GRI, and so on. So the structure is more or less the same. The only thing that differs from the first table is that the COP is the starting point. So same here on the left side, you can click in the different sections. Now we are in governance, but you can also click into human rights, and then you will see the different questions and sections of the human rights part of the COP questionnaire, and then compare it to the different reporting standards on the right. The third part of the mapping is the definitions part. The definitions part is a list of the different definitions of the several reporting standards. So as you can see, it's a basic list of the definitions as it is here, for example, for access to capital, acquisition, and so on. And you have listed the different definitions out of the COP, the ESRS, GRI, CDP, and LKSG. So you can compare the different definitions along the list, and you have the definitions listed in alphabetical order. Important to note is that you can obviously also search within the definitions. Same example as before, you can, for example, look for adaptation, and then you get the definitions out of the several reporting standards. You can also have a selection here. So in case you only want to display the COP and ESRS definitions, then you can select these two, and then only the definitions from these two reporting frameworks will be displayed. And obviously you can also search a term within the definition itself to be displayed. Then the last part of the COP mapping is the about section. This is, or here you can find additional information on the mapping itself. You can find a disclaimer and several links to the original reporting standards and the different documents of the reporting standards. You can also find a manual for the different reporting standards and how it is used. So basically, this part of the mapping just shows additional information on the mapping itself and how the mapping has been developed. You can click here through the different manuals of the different sections. So you have information on the COP, GRI, LKSG, CDP, and a manual on the definitions itself. Each and every time you want to go back to the main page, you can use this home button over here on the top. So each and every time you click there, you will come back to the main page, and then you can click again to the section you want to go. So in case you want to go to the COP overview again, you can see here you also have the main home button again, and if you click here, you come back. So these were the main functionalities of the mapping. I hope this very quick demo helped you to get a better overview on the functionalities and how the mapping is structured. And in case you have any question, you can always reach out to me or any other colleague from our network or from the corresponding country network in your country.